Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the Good Get podcast. I'm your host, Evan Tepper, and today we are joined by one of my best pickle pals, Amanda. Amanda, welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Evan. This is so fun.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
have a
see
good
you
time.
got yes, it looks like you have your pickleball goggles on.
I do. Yeah, that'll be the next sort of vertical. Cheers comes out with his ridiculous glasses. So, for
I
Amanda,
think it would stick.
for people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, sort of what you do in your free time, your family, so forth.
All right. Well, I'm Amanda. I am a stay-at-home mom that lives in Edina. I have two little ones. Age 7 is my daughter Riley, and then my son Reese is 10. And they go to Countryside Elementary, and I'm married to Joel, and I am our house manager.
Yeah,
Among
which is a
having
job.
time for
It's
pickleball.
totally a job. Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's taken a long time to get the job down, but now I feel like I'm able to do that and have my own life in there as well.
Yeah. So obviously we're chatting about pickleball today, and you seem to manage to slip in a little pickleball throughout the course of the week. So like I'm curious about sort of startup, or you like the story of how you got involved in pickleball. But before you jump into that, tell us, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how addicted are you to pickleball?
15.
Great. And how do you get involved in this ridiculous sport?
So it started with my girlfriend, Corey, who is my pickleball partner now. She lives in our neighborhood, and she was talking about pickleball forever and just kept talking about it and all the people that she loved. And at the time I didn't really have a physical activity that I wanted to do during my day. And so Corey brought me to a neighbor's house in our neighborhood. They have an outdoor pickleball court. And the first time I played, I was hooked. And then every Tuesday and Saturday morning, I would drive my scooter over to Linda Tell's house and we would play pickleball. And then as I started playing, it progressed and Corey would invite me to other places to play with other people. And I think I started in June of last year. So it's almost a year and a half that I've played. And now I'm up to 4 to 5 days a week. And it's progressed quickly, Evan.
Yeah. Do you have a tennis or a paddle sport background?
I do not. I never played any paddle sports. I was a volleyball and basketball player. But I do have arthritis. And so there was a time from when my last child was born up until I was playing pickleball. So about 6 years where I really didn't do any physical activity at all. And it was really hard to find things because even walking, just doing the same movement all the time, pounding on my knees was really bothersome. So I couldn't find anything that stuck that also made me feel good. So I kept playing pickleball. I'm like, this doesn't hurt at all. And I mean, to this day, I haven't had any injuries and I feel great on and off the court. So it's been really great for my health as well.
Yeah. So if you're playing that many days a week, you must have like displaced something. Was it like Real Housewives, or like what are you no longer doing that you were doing?
One thing I'm no longer doing is I was doing Pure Barre, which is kind of like a ballet Pilates mix. And that was working really well for my body too. But then I just got bored of the monotony of it. And the thing that I really think I've missed ever since I was in college is the competition aspect. Like, I mean, I get really competitive now, and I didn't think I would ever have that back in my life, especially for myself. Yes, I'm the biggest cheerleader for my kids, and things
Mhm.
for our family, but when it comes to really being able to do something for yourself and playing, having fun, and winning is really fun too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um,
Yeah.
and so like what do you think it is that you love most about the sport? So you mentioned that competitive, getting that competitive edge back. Um, but what are like those one or two things that you really love about the sport that brings you out like 4 or 5 plus times a week?
The physical exercise piece of it. I mean, when
Hmm.
I'm done, I am wet from I I need to shower 4 to 5 days a week, and I shower on the days that I play pickleball. I mean, it's true. I can't go anywhere after. So I get great physical activity, um, which is number one. And then another piece is it's just something that it can take your mind from not thinking about anything for 3 hours. And you're
Yeah.
playing with fun people. So you're laughing, you're running around, you're doing all these things that eats up so much time. And I'm so lucky that I have that time to get eaten up because I often see people, on their watches and, trying to take calls. And anyone who knows me knows that do not love technology. So I'm surprised we got this setup going. I often don't even have my cell phone on me. And so it makes it great because nothing is pulling me away from it. I do check twice a day in the morning to see if school has called. But other than that, like I just am able to set life aside and play pickleball.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're very. I find myself to just be very much in the moment. Um, it's like it's a
Mm-hmm.
sport where you kind of just have to be on while you're playing. Obviously, like in between matches and so forth, like you can hang out and joke around uh, and do whatever. But when you're playing, like that's it. Like that's got to be the thing you're focused on.
Yeah. And it's intense. And you can make it where it's not intense, but I like the level of intensity is key as well.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So I'm curious about like the people you play with or the people you've met through the sport. Do you have any like funny or fun anecdotes about the regulars that you see?
Absolutely. I have a couple of funny stories. My, the first, so the age group is a factor, um, because not a lot of people my age are able to play pickleball from 9 to noon each day. So I'm getting, a lot of people who are retired or just have that extra time. So I would say age group is different than my regular demographic, but it's absolutely
Hmm.
lovely. It's people who have experience in the world who can say to you, "Oh, take this time with your kids because it's so important because they're at a different phase in their life." So it's really fun having not always being with your direct peers, which is great. And
Yeah.
you become friends and you get invited to their things, or you can just keep it on the court. There's some people I've never even seen outside of pickleball, and I may not recognize them if I did. And
Hmm.
one thing I noticed quickly was everybody has the last name Pickle. So if you're in my phone, you're Evan Pickle.
Yeah.
It's always talk. Well, and Corey and I were pickleball partners. My friend who got me into it, and so we're always talking about people that we play with, and there's a Tan Tom. There's just all these really random names, but it's funny, and people who are listening to us outside of pickleball are like, who are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
Tan Tom? Who's Tan Tom? So, it's really fun. And then one quick story, it was Corey's birthday this last summer in June. And so I invited our pickleball group to my pool, and we had a little pool party, and it was really fun. And my kids were not home. And then they came home a little bit later. And my son goes, "Mom, why are your friends so old?" And I lost my mind and I'm like, what? And he said, well, they're not that old, Mom, but I just wasn't expecting, Bob to be here. He was very surprised by Pickle Bob swimming in our pool, I guess I will say. So I just feel like it's, really opened me up to, and I love every walk of life. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
Just being able to be with people and making their day a little better. And, they return the favor by making my day a little bit better as well.
Yeah, it's like it's such a fun and social environment. I credit a lot of it to this idea, right, where if you go to open play, you're constantly rotating, and a game lasts, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes or so. And if you're there for a couple hours, you're
Mm-hmm.
playing several games. But in theory, you could be with 3 new people every single game you play that day, and it just like creates this. I don't know. At a minimum, people's names, and that's actually probably I don't know, socially, that's like
Yeah.
one of the hardest things. Is like sort of finding something in common with people to chat about, and like this is so natural.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like you're just meeting people all the time, which is pretty funny.
Yes.
I have like
And
so
I
getting
always
back to
have said
your.
I am very blessed. Go ahead.
Oh no, go! I want to hear your story.
Now I forgot.
That's fine. You're like
Um,
internet's going in and out. Okay, so
shoot,
um, okay,
I
so
can hear
let me
you. What
jump
was
back
your?
in with yeah. So no, an anecdote about just sort of like all of these people with the last name Pickle, and how social this sport is. But this happened just this morning. I was responding to a text message, or was looking at a text message. My wife was peeking over my shoulder, and she's like, "You're in a group thread with 18 people." I was like, "Oh yeah, they're just like pickleball people, Mom." uh,
It is. And the other thing I like about it is there's zero stress, right? So you have this group of people, and half the time you don't even know their phone numbers. So you don't have to worry about, I don't have to go to lunch with them after, or it's fun because you're all there for one reason, to play pickleball. And if you're lucky, you come out having wonderful friends like you and I and Corey, and
yeah,
we have our own little group chats. But it's just nice being able to go somewhere and you don't have to be anybody but yourself. Like I
yeah.
maybe get my front teeth brushed before I go. I don't have to look cute for anybody. It's just go play and everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, 100%. So, do you have any examples of like how the sport has enriched your life? I mean, you've talked about a lot of them, but I don't know. I'm curious to hear if there's any sort of highlights of your year and a half of playing.
Um, I will say a big part comes with my kids and them seeing me get up every
Ah,
morning and go play pickleball. And I get up and I'm like,
yeah,
pickleball, y'all. And it's
yeah,
just so fun because they get to see me doing something competitively that, I'd like to say I'm pretty good at. And so
yeah,
it's just really nice seeing that. I'm teaching them all the time. I'm taking them to their activities and, they get to cheer me on a little bit. And I feel like it's motivational for my family and even my parents. My dad, he knows when I call. It's after, well, actually, it's my mother. 11:30 every day. I'll call her and I'm in the middle of my soap opera, Amanda. And I'm like, well, Mom, I just got done playing pickleball. I want to talk to you now. But it's just, they think I'm crazy. But the truth about it is there's nothing bad about playing it. It's great. And just all the physical activity that I get. And I meet
yeah,
people all the time. Oh, you're Amanda. You like to play pickleball. So you kind of become,
yeah.
it's a part of me for sure.
Right, right, right. For sure. Well, like I don't know if your kids play, but they will eventually play, and it will be really fun because like you'll be able to kick their butt like immediately, and they'll eventually get better. But like it's going to take them a long time to catch up to you, and it will just be like a really great thing that your family can do.
Yes. And we have started a little bit. We played, but it's frustrating. My son and I'll go hit a little bit, which he gets better. But for the first time, my husband and I played with another couple on last Saturday, and we had the best time. And he's good. He was really
Yeah.
good. So now I'm
Yeah.
excited for that piece for us to be able to play together. And I know that your wife plays and she's good
Mhm.
too. And it's just fun to be able to share it or not share it.
Yeah. There's this cool thing, right? So people who are just like naturally athletic or played a lot of sports their whole lives, like Joel, for instance, right? Like he can jump in and he can be immediately really proficient player. My wife, who doesn't have a lot of sports background, jumped in and she wasn't like immediately great or at the same level somebody like Joel was. However, like it didn't take her long to get there. And so it's like such an accessible sport because you don't
Mhm.
have like to get to a baseline where you can go out and have fun rallies and hit it back and forth and I don't know, like surprise yourself occasionally. It like doesn't take long to get there, and that's what makes it so addicting. Is like you don't have to put in years of mean, could you imagine like trying to learn to like ski or snowboard now? You'd like fall down and you're like your knees
Oh
would
my
hurt, you'd
gosh.
like sprain your wrist and just like all all of these things. But like trying to pick up a new sport or something like that as we get a little older is really, really hard. And this just makes it, I don't know, really accessible for just about everybody.
Yeah, you nailed it there. It definitely does. There's a
Yeah.
little learning curve, but the, physicality part of it is really nice that you don't, and you don't need all this equipment or, things that are hard. You grab a paddle and put some shoes on and you're good to go.
Yeah, 100%. Do you have any embarrassing moments or stories?
Oh boy. I have one embarrassing moment, which comes from a mutual friend of ours. And we were playing last year inside of 43 Hoops. And it was one of the first times that Corey had taken me. And I had just met you and kind of all the groups of people. And Bama said he would play on my team. And so we're playing, and all of a sudden he looks at me and says, "Can I take my shirt off?" And I laughed so hard, I must have turned 30 shades of purple. And it was like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then you get a big wet belly hug afterwards. And
Yes.
so at first I was like so embarrassed, but it really broke the shell quickly of, how lovely all the people are that I play with. And I mean, you can pretty much say and do whatever you want
Yeah.
without offending anybody.
Well, you nailed
But
it
as
there.
far
And
as
you,
like the serious play, so as far as the serious things that I've done that have been embarrassing, I haven't really had one yet. I'm sure it'll come for sure, but
yeah.
I don't embarrass very easily.
Yeah. Well, it's like you nailed it in that story and earlier about people sort of just accepting you for who you are in those moments. So our friend who took his shirt off, like he's by no means a young guy. He's not in his 20s or something. Uh, he's not out of shape or anything like that. But like he's sort of in an age demographic where you wouldn't expect somebody to be taking the shirt off, especially playing like in a climate controlled indoor facility. But like it is part of his personality, and he can get away with it. Not all of us probably can. Um, and yeah, people are just like laugh, smile, nod their head, roll their eyes, whatever. But it's like not a big deal. So it is. It's really sort of welcoming, and you don't have to sort of be anything you don't want to be.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. That kind of wraps up like some of the I don't know, meat and potatoes questions. I have like a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. In every relationship, one of the individuals is like a Scandinavian architect when they're loading the dishwasher, and the other person's like a raccoon on meth. Which are you?
Raccoon on meth.
What's your most used emoji? Oh, you don't have emojis on it, Android? Yeah, okay. All right. Straightforward, no problem. All right, and the last one. You can take as many attempts as you want. I want you to say cheers in your best British accent. Ah, it's good. Give it another go. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's almost like you were in London recently. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's been fun, and I think it's just like interesting to get to hear people's sort of like backstories, how they were introduced to the sport, and why they're passionate about it now, and what keeps them coming back every day. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, Amanda. Man, I didn't, but now the more that I think about it, it has pretty much all the qualities of a sandwich. I know, but then you go down this thing like, yeah, like, is a burrito a sandwich or is it taco sandwich? And you're like, no, but I don't really know why. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for listening to the Good Get podcast hosted by Cheers Pickleball. You can find us at cheerspickleball.net or any of our social media feeds, Cheers Pickleball. Thanks again, Amanda. All right. Bye.